Shalom, brothers. This is Watchers and Enjoyers. This is Ash and Piggy here with another episode of Watching Walford podcast. It's episode 145, and today we're going to cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 41. We're near Christmas, lads. We're nearing Christmas of 2025. All the episodes from the 6th to the 10th, all the way to the 9th to the 10th. Now, we have some topics. I don't know why I keep saying now we have some topics. You already know the topics. But to go through them, we have the introduction, which is what I'm doing right now. Then we have the first topic, which is Teddy is an idiot. And then we have the funeral, which is where Stuart and Ben and Callum, the whole thing collides. And then we have a trigger warning, because then we talk about the Manosphere. Don't know what the Manosphere is, it's basically Joel. But that's what the grifters call this ideology. They call it the Manosphere. Which, it's a silly name, but still. Then we have the awards and thoughts about the show. Then we have Strictly Speaking. Then if you have time, we have Big Brother. Then we have we have the after show. I don't know what the after show's at the bottom, but then we have the outro. And that's all the topics. So very quickly, how are you, Ash?
Doing all right. It's been another week in our lives. And I don't know why that's so vague. It's been all right. Been doing all right. Yeah.
He's
Not
part
really
of the
much going on. Last week I was criminally obsessed with Dear Evan Hansen. This week, not so much. Yeah, that's all I got. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about the Manosphere. This is going to be interesting. Two idiots talk.
Oh, likewise. I got the next script is done, which is fun. Just keeping that. I mean, by the time it's out, I expect all of you to have read it on the Substack, and I want comments in the comment section about what you thought about it. So, I'm seeing you.
I don't know why you're the man from Dexter when he's in the car.
Just dokes.
Yeah.
I feel like most people saw the post, but nobody clicked on it.
There you go.
I love what became a meme. It's so good. It's so good.
But
Dokes is only in the show for like 2 seasons as well. It's ridiculous.
is he? Oh, I thought he was brought
Yeah.
back in the new one, in the revival.
I'm sure he is somehow. I've not watched it yet.
Ah, fair enough. I haven't watched Dexter. I just know of him because he's the guy who does surprise mother. Yeah. I can say it now. Surprise motherfucker. I believe he's the one who says that.
Yeah, Doug says that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously that was memed in 2015. So you got all the classes like supplies motherfucker, hard eyes motherfucker.
Surprise motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the best bit. Yeah, and the best bit is it's like that bit as well, because of the meme and how prominent it is. You hear it happen in the show, you're like, what? This is where it came from? Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, I guess like we'll talk about our Christmas plans and everything after Strictly Speaking and Big Brother.
Yeah,
There's some updates, and I guess without further ado, to get right into it, we have Teddy. Now Teddy hasn't been on our screen for a solid. I'll just wait till I hit the 4-minute mark. That's good. Teddy hasn't been on our screen for a couple of months now. He block storytelling
but
and all
Piggy,
that.
they abolished block storytelling though.
Yeah, they did. But
it wasn't block storytelling. He was just on a break. God, get over it.
You know, but is he Ross and the woman from Friends that were on a break? Yeah. Thank you. I just know when Ross dresses up as an armadillo. That's all I really know from Friends, and the infamous turkey head, which they stole from Mr. Bean. But still, but yeah, on this, Teddy has returned from his little vacation. In reality, he's probably just been hiding in the basement of his house, just messing around downstairs in the basement, just having fun, We all have a cheeky basement we hang out in, like it's the 70s show. But yeah, he's back on our screens. He wasn't really gone in universe, I don't think. I think he was just, again, like I said, hanging around. Just like Harry's in the house, he's just like, Dad, you here? Yeah, I'm just hanging up a painting. Don't worry, just hanging up a painting. Be out in a minute.
He just has really unreliable shoelaces. Each time he's in the shop, bloody hell, I've got time of shoes again. For fuck's sake.
Do, do,
He's been doing that for 3 months.
do you reckon? Do you reckon whenever they had a shot in the Mitchell house, the new Mitchell house, it would it would have obviously Harry there, but you just have Teddy who's just like barely in shot. You just see his little bald head. You just see like an image, like a little.
I mean, the issue with Teddy is when you get studio lights on it, it probably gives the camera a lens flare. Bloody hell.
Is it SpongeBob the one where the guy gets like the light beamed at him and he goes, "My eyes." That
Probably.
yeah, it's probably something like that. But yeah, he's back. He's back. I hope he had a lovely holiday. The guy who plays Teddy, I hope he had a lovely holiday. And well, Kojo's been worked off his tits. Yeah, he's been. I don't know. See, I can't use the word I want to use, but yeah, he's basically just been using him. He's just like, yeah, come on.
He's been using Kojo as a drug mule.
Yeah,
They're picking up gear, they're leaving gear. And Oki claims he's a good friend of Kojo, but obviously Kojo's not been eating or drinking, so he gets to work on Monday as Gina and Harry get back from their nice little vacation, and Kojo just passes out.
Yeah, cause he is one of those friends. It's like, I really care about your mental health, Kojo, but like I don't. Fuck you. And continuing on, so Kojo goes to the garage or garage, and garage. Here in my garage with my Lamborghini. That's a fantastic ad. Here in my garage. Hopefully, you know what ad I'm talking about, Ash.
No.
Oh, you don't know the ad of the guy with the glasses where he's like, here in my garage, I read a lot of books because I want a lot of knowledge. Fucking fantastic ad. But anyways, so he basically goes there and feels like, mate, you alright? Are you alright, Kojo? And Kojo's like, yeah, I'm fine.
Well, Phil's trying to be nice about it, but he is also dealing with the fact that he's about to go to a funeral.
Yeah. I love how he's like Kojo's just there and he's like, you alright, Kojo? But was that UFO always there, Phil? Was that Mona Lisa always on the ceiling? Kojo, you're not five. Jeez, I never noticed how beautiful your hair was, Phil. I don't have hair, Kojo. Oh. And then he passes out, and Harry basically brings him back to the flat. The doctor comes and the doctor checks on him. I don't know whether that was Anthony or not. I have no fucking clue.
No, I think Anthony checked on him.
Yeah, I will say I was doing my local my annual colouring the Halloween pictures on my phone while watching the episodes.
Nice.
And plus I was doing a Kojo where I was also doing not a 10-hour shift but like a 2-hour shift of editing the Christmas reactions because I did 06 and I did 07. Then I went, and then I played Fortnite and Minecraft and I went, lads, I have to go back to this, and then I just watched the episodes while half awake. Like, oh Jesus!
It's always become a fun thing because, and we'll talk about Christmas plans soon enough because I think it was Michael Sharp in one of our lovely, very consistent commenters, been commenting for years now. Maybe more like a year, but he's been here for 50 years. Kind of left a comment like, "Hey guys, what are the Christmas plans, by the way?" Yeah, Michael Sharp. There we are. What are the Christmas plans? And we talked about it. And obviously the joke is Piggy said he'd do the reactions because at Christmas I'm going to be doing the video essay. And because getting copyright stuff on YouTube is always a bit of a ball ache, he's like, we should do it equal. We should do it equal. I'll do 2, you do 2. And I go, do you want to do the video essay, mate? I don't fucking think so. Do you want to do 12-hour days putting 5 seconds of screenshot to a 2-hour video? I don't fucking think you do. Now shut the fuck up. Edit those fucking Christmases.
I've nearly done them. I only have like 3.5 done. 3.5 left. Obviously I'll obviously talk about it more later on, and we'll get back to the topic. But obviously how I do it is I edit it down, and then I go, is this joke safe? Is this joke safe? And not that we say controversial shit when we're recording the Christmas. It's just to
It's
prove,
a
oh
lot
yeah,
looser than it usually
yeah,
is.
yeah. And then I go, what clips do you want edited down? And then Ash like, just give me that. And then he edits down the clip, and then he just adds music. That's pretty much how we do it.
Yeah.
Where I'll watch it. The problem is I've watched like Christmas O2 twice, and I'm fucking sick of seeing Jamie dying. And I'm like, I do not want to see this again, but I have to see it again. But I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't mind. What I'll do is I'll pop a ciggy. Pop a ciggy? I'll pop one of my antidepressants, and I'll just half awake there. Fuck it, this'll go in. Fuck it, this'll go in as well. Fuck it, why not? Ash gets in. It's like, how is it 40 minutes? I don't know. Just half it's unedited. It's just like vaguely edited. But anyways, yeah. So Kojo's been worked to the bone, like me with the Christmas reactions. Uh, uh, that's a joke. That's a joke. Ash would never do slave labor. If he could, he would, but he can't legally because the UK government would fire him. But yeah. So back to where I was going. Anthony checks on him, and then Kojo is basically going through his teen phase. Because everyone's like, Kojo, you alright? He's like, leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone, please. You're all up in my grill. Leave me alone. Like, please.
Basically, Oki's he didn't give him commands because obviously he's not a dog, but he's essentially went, hey, you should look. I don't. Kojo was saying this like stock phrase, and Oki's just looking at him like, what the fuck are you on about? But essentially, this kind of phrase of don't snitch on your friends. Nobody can know what we've been up to. And this is where we get the kind of annoying bit because the family obviously doesn't know that Oki's a bad influence and he's been using a vulnerable man. So they're just like, oh, Kojo just had a big night out, did you? Kojo isn't you just like my man. And they all just kind of go like, I don't know. And then George gets back because Phil rings him, and then George is like, what the fuck? What's happened here? Whilst Harry has to sit there gritting his teeth, like, "Oh yeah, it's fine, it's all definitely fine." And Gina and Anna and Junior are just like, "Oh, he's just been on the pull, hasn't he? Way, lads." And it only really takes up till Harry goes to Teddy, who, as you said earlier, is finally back from his vacation or whatever he took. But welcome back, mate. And Harry goes, I'll go to the police. I just can't deal this anymore. Kojo can't keep getting hurt. It's my fault. I thought I'd fixed it, but he's still in there. I'll go to the police. And Teddy goes, nah, don't worry, mate. I'll fix it. And what does he decide to do? He puts the biggest fuck off webcam you've ever seen right next to Kojo's car. Right next to the thing that Kojo treasures more than anything else in his life. His favorite possession that he will constantly go back to and use for comfort. He puts it right next to it.
Do you know what's funny?
So, yeah.
They don't spot it for like a day or two. It's only till he gets the fucking car he spots it. I'm like, he put it in the most obvious place possible. It's like when they're, I don't know why you're making this reference, but it's like when they're doing Jeremy Kyle, and then it's like obviously the woman like, it's like, you're a slag, Sandra, and then she runs off. You have the cameraman like bopping behind her like that. Like it's in the, it's literally like the Jeremy Kyle camera. It's just right there in the middle. It could also be used for casting couch, which Joel really is a fan of. So yeah,
I mean, I'll go to your expertise, Piggy. As someone who likes to set up peepholes, where would you put the camera in the room?
Well, I mean, you have to. How can I make the? See, you set me up like I'm a fucking creep going around my local shopping centre hiding cameras. But realistically speaking,
Not next to the fucking taxi that Kojo likes.
yeah. But if you had to do it, the good old fashioned like put it in a bookcase or something, put it in like a book or something. You don't put it like I'm not an expertise in this, But like, right, it's like when you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna subtly record this conversation. Are you dealing drugs? Are you dealing drugs? It's like when they go. It's like when, I'm using this comparison, but it's like when people want to catch nonces, so they go up to them, and obviously they haven't been informed with the police. Most of them haven't been informed with the police, so they go up to them and they're like, oh, what the fuck? I think it's EDP. It's like EDP. What have you been doing to children? What have you been doing? It's like, get the fucking camera out of his face. Don't like directly do his face like that. You just, you somewhat do it like that. It's sly. You don't fucking don't shove the camera in his face.
I'm gonna I'm gonna record a confession. His phone in hand.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, essentially, in point being,
Don't
obviously
don't make it
they
obvious.
find the camera, and well, also you put it on a barren shelf as well. Like there's a couple of Kojo's model cars on the thing, like on the shelf, and he puts it right next to it. So like you got to imagine, yeah, sure, he probably doesn't know because I doubt Teddy's ever been in the flat. So you'd have to imagine that. I don't know. Did he want to get caught? Because it's so stupidly out of nowhere.
But like you hide it, you know what I mean? You hide it like in I don't want to say like a pot plant. You hide it like somewhere. You don't put it next to the fucking toy. It'd be like if you put a camera in my room and you put it right on my table. It's like he'll never know. He'll never know. I do. What I know this joke's a bit. Well, it's not edgy, but it's a bit like it's a bit crass for
Here we
EastEnders.
go.
But like, could you imagine like either Kojo or fucking George walk in? He's like, oh, I've had a long day. You know what I need? A wank. And he's just on the couch, just stroke one. He's like, someone recording me. And you just have Teddy like, I think I shoved the wrong I think I put in the wrong place, lads. I I think I put in the wrong place. Um, but yeah, he basically gets caught, and then Cole just like goes up to George. What are you? I don't know why I was going to do an accent of his. What are you doing? Why did you put a camera there? Stop spying on me. And George's like, I'm not spying on you. And then you just see Teddy being like, oh shit, I fucked up. And
Yeah, and this as well, Kojo and Oki, they're off to go to Cardiff to
kind
see
of
a car show. And yeah, this once again puts a dampener on because Kojo and George have a fairly nice conversation where they go, "Look, I'll give you a room. You know, you think I treat you like a kid, which he does, but he is also a 40-year-old man who is also on the spectrum and does need extra support. You know, probably more support than the average person. Um, so you can understand George's way. Also, in the fact that George has never really. This is still what like the has Kojo been around for a year?
nearly,
Nearly a year. So it's still like
roughly,
early
yeah.
days of dealing with how to suddenly have a younger brother. So it's you can understand George's trepidation, but they have a good conversation about it. But obviously, Kojo seeing the camera makes him just jump to the conclusion that it is George's camera, and obviously this isolates him even further. And yeah, it sucks. I've seen a lot of people. Obviously, Oki's the big bad because he's the one doing it. But it's quite impressive how quickly the Ravi sentiment has absolutely gone down the shitter. Where Ravi is now like, my brother's like, I'm sick of Ravi. I want him to lose everything. I want him to pay. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, I
How do you
think.
feel about Ravi in this
Give me
storyline?
a second. I'm just pouring a drink. Hold on.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, it's just a funny. It's funny to see the narrative shift because for a while it's like, oh, Ravi's great, and then the second he starts getting involved with the drug stuff, it's like, Ravi is a dick, and Ravi is a dick, and I don't like Ravi. He's a dick. But
see,
yeah,
I hope the payoff is Ravi like finally realizes, yeah, maybe pressuring a severely autistic like guy to do drug dealings is a bit wrong. and hopefully it
Yeah.
ends with him, like, because obviously Ravi is also the big bad. But hopefully it ends
Oh,
with
you have to lose it all, right?
hopefully it ends with him going, okay, you've gone too far, and he just absolutely twats him. Like, that's how I would have it, where you have Ravi realize at the end, wait, what I'm doing is wrong. You shouldn't really put the pressure on this chap, and then just smacks the shit out of Oki. Um, that's how I would do it, because like that's how you redeem Ravi. But if you don't want to redeem him, you just have him like lose everything, and then he leaves, I guess. But I don't know why my mind went to this, but I don't know why I wanted it. Um, I wanted, it's like Kojo's flat. Do you know where he has the camera? Like Teddy has the camera there. I wanted there to be a big fuck off fan, just like outside. Like obviously they can hear into the flat. Do you know, like in the American TV shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like he's like in a little van, and he obviously has the headset set on, and he can hear everything. It's like,
Surveillance, yeah.
yeah. What'd you say?
Yeah, surveillance.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of surveillance, that's a great cutaway, Piggy. Thank you, Ash. We have the funeral. The funeral. The funeral. Um, where we get two returns. One is a true icon, and one's a little bit of a slag, and his name's Ben Mitchell. So where do we begin? Well, with the also on Teddy. Yeah, he's an idiot, but we'll talk about that more in the thoughts of the show. So yeah, we are back again. Obviously, Phil does not want to go to the funeral because, like, obviously Callum's been, kissing Johnny behind Ben's back. Yeah, just cheating on Ben. And then obviously, to continue on, he kisses Callum again. Or no, Callum kisses Johnny again. And then Kathy walks in, and Kathy's like, yeah, why would you do such a thing? Who cheats or something? I'm like, me, like, that, you know, that's a bit hypocritical, Kathy. And also, Stuart comes back. Stuart nearly runs over Callum, but he comes back.
Stuart puts the fun in funeral.
He does. He would be the right lad to have at a funeral. Let's be honest, he would be. Game of Thrones legend, by the way. Game of Thrones legend. Old Stuart, the guy who plays him, was in Game of Thrones. So yeah. So what? He was a background character. That doesn't mean anything. He was in it.
He had lines.
His line was, "Wait, is this the right show?"
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously Kathy and everyone's like, "How dare you cheat, Callum? How dare you?" It's like,
yeah, it's like you better tell everyone. You better tell Ben today, or tell him as quickly as possible because Lexi's also away. So
and
you need to tell them immediately. Phil's angry. Kathy's angry. They're all pretty angry.
and also you have Jay, who's still in hibernation. He's still away on holiday. I don't think he's coming back as old Jay. I like the. Just side note on Jay. I don't want to dive into like the whole fucking his whole exit, but I'm laughing at like obviously Ben later.
I mean, we did do a pretty large video. We did like a half an hour video discussing it. So,
but on it, I want to say I'm loving how like where the scenes that Jay clearly was supposed to be in, they had to awkwardly be like, yeah, so where's Jay? He's
visiting his granddad.
Shut up.
Also, someone's probably figured out where Jay's like resting. Well, I say resting place. Well, essentially, where Ben, progressing to the end, where Ben's staying is probably where Jay's granddad lives. So he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, I've been visiting him loads." So that's probably where Jay is going to reside till the Beeb either clears him and decides he did nothing wrong, or more shit comes out and he's never seen again.
Yeah, but we go to the funeral as we call it, or should I call it, to get away with YouTube censoring. But so yeah, we go to the funeral and Stuart's like, "Are we sure he's dead, lad? Are we sure? Can we check? Like, I reckon Stuart, I know they wouldn't do it, but I reckon, like, off camera, he opens the coffin and just hard punches like the dad. He's like, yeah, he is dead. He is dead, lad. Just making sure he's dead. He is. And then
It's also just funny because Stuart's not really he's not really changed as old Stuart. He's very much the same as he was when he left. He's very well, he had no real love for his dad because his dad was a prick.
he
And his
was
dad battered him a bunch and you know, Stuart was always taking the blows so Callum didn't need to. So he's just kind of still like joking at everything, still taking the piss, doesn't really care, but he wants to support his brother. And he gets a lot of good one-liners, does old Stuart, and that's yeah, it's great. And even Rainey gets a mention, but
little me was so excited to finally get done.
I personally don't like Rainey, so
I don't know why my hand's itchy. Hold on. I think I'm getting money. But yeah, but
sorry, what?
yeah, usually if your left hand's itchy, they say you're getting money. I believe that's the myth.
Okay.
I don't know why they say it to you. But yeah, so
I was
yeah,
like, what fucking psychotic moment are you having? My hand's itching, I'm getting money. The
yeah.
crab like money. That's a dated reference at this point.
But as we're saying, and then who rolls out of a black cab? Well, he probably rolls out of a black car. Let's be honest. Ben's like, you can't
Oh,
have a
yeah, it's also to say Stuart's also pretty supportive.
yeah.
He didn't really like Ben at any points in time. Probably understands what Ben did to Callum, how lonely it's been. So he's kind of all for he's all for Jallum.
Yeah, yeah, and as I was saying, Ben pops out of a car and it's like, you can't have a funeral without the fun. I brought beer, I brought hookers, they're gay, and we're playing blackjack. Let's go. Obviously, he can't do any of that, he's in prison. But,
I think he said something akin to, "I wouldn't miss a good funeral."
and then my favourite bit is obviously you have Ben, he's like, oh, I missed you so much, Callum. I missed you so much. And then Callum's like, yeah, yeah. Ooh.
And they immediately kiss, though. They immediately kiss. And the best bit of how they shot this, I noticed it when they did the images when it was released. Obviously, Ben Stewart and Ben Stewart and Callum are all in black, but Johnny's in like a blue, like what's the like 3-piece suit, whatever. I don't remember the actual word for it, right? Where he's in the full suit, but he's wearing blue in comparison to the others who are all wearing black and they're all one in the same, essentially. So it was a nice little like framing thing to kind of notice that Johnny doesn't really belong in this scenario.
And obviously, Callum has some words to say about his dad. Probably Stewart is egging him on, like, it's just making jokes, which is fun to have at a funeral. I know people might get upset about that. Just side note, my favourite, who does he play? There's a guy in Coronation Street. I forget who he plays. He has blonde hair. He was on Celebrity Big Brother. He plays one of the Platts, I believe.
Monte, David Platt, Jack P. Shepherd.
Yeah, Jack Shepherd. Jack
Yeah,
Shepherd.
yeah, I know exactly what you're gonna reference. It's the clip where obviously they're filming a funeral, but Jack P. Shepherd, he's pretty short, so he's like he's holding the coffin, but as he walks by the camera, he just lets go and just goes like,
And
and
then
everybody just starts laughing because clearly like the tall people are holding it up, and he's just like,
I think you have obviously the Catholics who never watched it, or the Protestants, or whatever religion you are, going, that's fucking offensive. There's someone in the coffin. It's like, no, there is not. Why would there be cameras
no.
around? Why would there be 4K cameras around them? And then it's like, that's very offensive. What would Jesus think? I don't fucking know. Jesus is dead. Yeah, and like
Did you ask him? Did you ask him what he thought?
Um, but my favorite, yeah, it's him holding the camera. He's kind of like that. He's like kind of bobbing because he can't hold it. I love that clip so much. I need to find it
It's so
again.
good.
It's so good. Um, but yeah, and obviously I get to tell my story that I love telling is when my nanny passed. We went to the funeral obviously, and we were all at the graveyard throwing flowers in. You know, that's how you signal.
Yeah, the old earth to earth, ashes to ash, that sort of stuff, where you throw in the soil in.
Yeah, and my cousin got a bit wobbly, so when he threw the flower in, he nearly fell into the coffin. And my dad caught him, and when my dad told me this, I went, "You fucker, you should have let him fall in." And I went, no, and I went, "You should have. It would have been funny." He went, "Yeah, funny for you." And I went, "Yeah, it might have scarred him, but it would have been funny. Like, come on, him just falling on top of the coffin. Hello, Nanny. How are you?" Obviously, I've told
Wasn't
this.
expecting to see you so suddenly.
Obviously, I've told this story before, but I love telling it. I had an idea, but my dad obviously shot it down. Where obviously my nanny passed, so an idea I had is she had a stair lift. And what I was going to do is that she obviously had a remote. I was going to put her on the stair lift, so as people walked in, bring her up and down the stairs, going, "Hello, I'm not dead, you fuckers. You're not getting anything out of my will." Woo! Just bring her up and down the stairs, like start moving her as well. Just to scare the kids. Pretty fun. Couldn't do it with my granddad for obvious reasons, but yeah. Um, would you? So, what do you think? Should I be allowed to make funerals happen? I don't think so.
No. The only thing I can even think of is not even a real thing. It was a fucking one of the funniest like TV funerals I've seen is
Repeat that again, because you kind of
that.
called.
So I was dancing. Yeah, it cut out. One of my favorite TV funerals is in a show called Tell Me Everything, which is on ITV, which is the competition. But it's on ITV, and the main character Johnny's dad dies, and it dies really suddenly. So like at the start of the first episode, you think like, oh, it's a little rom com. He's psyching himself up to go out, but by the end, he gets back high, and then his dad's dead. But like he had this conversation with his dad, like the dad's the only one who knows how like shit he's feeling. He knows he's struggling, and then the dad dies at the end of the episode, and then they go to the funeral. But Johnny, he's not really dealing with the grief. So he obviously takes a selfie saying like funeral, but like fun is capitalized. He tries to like flirt with his crush, and then he ends up shacking his cousin in the bar, and everybody comes in and is like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And it's yeah, it's I think they were second cousins.
No, it's
But point
bad.
being, just a funny,
Yeah.
ridiculous, fucking, just a ridiculous funeral.
But yeah, funerals can be fun.
Tell Me Everything is so underrated, and everybody should watch it because nobody fucking did.
But they got a second season.
Yeah, but they didn't use the main cast from the first series season.
Ah, damn. Um, but
Yeah. To
but
be fair, Spike Fern, one of the guys in it, he was in like the next Alien movie, so his agent's been working double time. So
like how the second Johnny was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, wasn't he?
I mean, not entirely. It's like most of the cast of Sex Education, where it's like, oh, Emma Mackey who played Maeve. Oh fuck, she's in the next like fucking. Who was the guy who made Oppenheimer? But she is now set to be in like the fucking unnamed. She's set to be in the unnamed.
Christopher Nolan.
What fucking Christopher Nolan maybe?
See, I was gonna make the joke. You said who made Oppenheimer? I was gonna say Robert F. Oppenheimer.
Oh, J.J. Abrams. There we
Oh,
are.
J.J.
But yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, like but it's my whole point of this is just saying some people are just marked for success.
kind of
She
like,
was in the Barbie movie as well. Like I don't know
how,
how it relates, but I just wanted to mention it. I don't know.
yeah, and I get to mention again.
Got lost in the sauce.
Tam Hua from EastEnders was also in yesterday, the Beatles movie. So yeah, he wasn't
Mm.
brought back for the Beatles biopic, which I still don't know how you're gonna do that, because John Lennon is a very interesting character, and I do not know how you're gonna do that. And are you gonna end the documentary by him? In my opinion, and I know this is controversial, but his death is probably like, the guy who did that is probably like, how can I word this correctly? Like, that guy is some villain, because he goes through the for people who don't know. I know he's a very political figure John Lennon, and most people probably do know. But if you don't know, basically the guy who killed him, an hour before he killed him, asked for his autograph, and then came back an hour later and shot him. I can't think of anyone more evil than that. I think that's both evil but kind of funny. Where it's like, can I have your autograph? Oh, he's dead. Oh, double the price. Sell it on eBay.
And this could be misinformation, but it's also like, I think his angle for it was essentially saying how the Beatles became bigger than Jesus, and nobody should become bigger than Jesus. I don't know. That could be wrong. That's something I remember hearing at some point.
Fucking what's the book? Oh my god. He read a book, but I forget what the book's fucking called now. Oh my god, what is the book? Hold on,
I can't say. I don't know.
Hold on, what is? I'm trying to Google John Lennon book. Because John Lennon book. That's me. I don't know. I don't know the book, but anyways, yeah, because he read a famous book, that was bad. That obviously talked about a guy who got too famous, and he related that to fucking John Lennon. That's why he killed him. If I Google Butters John Lennon,
I'm gonna say Helter Skelter. I don't know. It's the only thing that came to my mind. Anyways, this has been derailed too long.
yeah, hold on, I'm just a very quick. What the fuck is CI talk? T-or CITR book? I don't fucking know. I'll find out afterwards. But he reads a famous book, and then he basically puts that to John and then kills him. Yeah. I forgot what the book's fucking called right now. I'll know the book the minute the podcast is finished. But he reads a famous book. But
yeah.
If you want to Google it, you can. But that's an interest. Like I will say, that's fucking interesting. It's not as sorry to derail this, but it's not as interesting as the woman, the mother of one of the Columbine school shooters, who does TED Talks saying her son didn't do it. Oh well, did do
She
it.
only did one TED Talk.
What?
But I'm pretty sure she only did one TED Talk.
Yeah, but she did. Yeah, but it's the interesting fact that she did a TED Talk.
Yeah, but it could have. I don't know. Like, basically, I don't know it enough to know what the fuck she said. So
but she did write a book.
I will at least give it some clemency.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video detailing this. I know I'm a bit more informed. But yeah, back to the funeral. Where was it? Yeah, so basically Ben's like, yeah, lads, I'm here, and then Stuart's obviously making jokes, and then everything's a bit awkward, and then Ben's talking to Callum, and Callum's like, it's so fun to see you.
Well, Ben's detailing how much he missed Callum and how much Callum's been the only thing that's been getting him through it. And he has gotten a transfer, so he snitched on his bunkmate, and now he's got a transfer to the UK, so he's going to live out the rest of his sentence, even if it may, Mitchells don't snitch, but it's a reduced sentence, and he's doing whatever he can to get out. And as Ben's kind of acting like nothing happened, Callum realizes because of the Mitchells, kind of has to say something about it. And the one thing that's kind of interesting as well is when Chris Crenshaw wrote him out, obviously the last conversation Ben and Callum have is Ben essentially saying, I'm setting you free. I want you to find someone. I want you to find someone to be with. But obviously, Ben's not really kept to his word. Because then when Johnny says there is someone else, Ben's like, what the fuck? You said you were going to wait for me.
Yeah, I also found the book. It's Catcher in the Rye. That is the book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I knew it was something like that, but I was going to say To Kill a Mockingbird, but it's not. But yeah,
it all goes back to Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, but I know there was someone probably watching us fumble for about 5 minutes, just typing the comment over and over again. This is the fucking book. Oh yeah, there you go. There's the book. So yeah, yeah. Callum's like, yeah, there's someone else, Ben, and then he immediately looks at Johnny. He's like, you fucker, and Johnny's like, oh, whoa, calm down, and then Ben basically does the Cindy Beale, just going, yeah, yeah, rubbish sex, Callum, rubbish sex. I'm like, okay, he is still your husband after all. He did cheat on you,
Well,
sure.
it's a thing, right? And I think this is where because whilst we were talking about the Ben return, we also said there's a reason why Ben had to go, and it was because in the end he was just he wasn't irredeemable, but you would have to do a lot of legwork to actually make the character like reasonable again. And I said you do have to change the character when he returns because we can't have the exact same Ben Mitchell we had when he left because that's the one that people got fed up with. But just like Max's return, and I said we can't have sad Max again, we have to have Max move on. We have the exact same Ben Mitchell as he was when he left, and it was fantastic. So I don't know what I'm talking about.
But yeah,
But no, like you get the same Ben Mitchell as he was when he left, and it works because he's doing wisecracks. Even Stuart's laughing at the dark humor, where Ben's like, "Look, it was only credit card fraud this time. It's not like I killed anyone. Just he's making all the wisecracks. He calls Johnny, but like pound shop Judge Rinder, whatever he is. We all know him. Just a lot of digs. Ben feels betrayed by his family. He wants to leave. He says, Callum goes, look, give me 2 minutes. And then obviously Ben goes, is that what you tell him? Just all the jokes. And then at this point, you see, fuck, I forgot my train of thought. Yeah, obviously Ben's hurt. He's lashing out. He then says, "Oh well, you think you're the only one? There's been tons of men in prison." And it was a really good bit. Ben then fucks off, and then the next bit is Phil and Kathy visiting in prison, which we'll talk about after. But we do get to the annoying bit, and unfortunately, it means Ballum stands back, and that's the one bit that I absolutely cannot stand at all. Because look, I respect the desire for representation. I respect the desire to have popular couples that people love, and even if they are like gay couples, essentially, like there are like a rabid audience who all want to lap it up because it is fair. It's not unique at this point in soap, but it still is a big piece. It still is a big important part. But like, still fundamentally, the fandoms do get a little bit toxic and a little bit annoying at most times. Where if you take me, I'm typically trying to talk about like a character and what the character's doing, but the stands will always go, "Oh wow, Max is so good. We love Max. Max is the best." Can we all agree that Max is the best Ben Mitchell after one episode? Can we all agree that Max is the best and definitive Ben? We love Max. We hate Tony though. I can't believe Tony said those things to Max. It's like, guys, please stop it, please, for fuck's sake. Like, and that's why a ton of people, that's why a bunch of your angles were like, I don't want it back, because you do just get a bunch of people like, oh, for fuck's sake, who let them back in the door? Who let the fucking stands back in? And it's a big day. Honestly, it's a big year for gay couples that were slashed, because you have Rob Ron back, you have Aaron and Robert and Emmerdale. They're back after a couple of years of not being together, and now Ballum is inevitably back. But also, like, even a bunch of the Ballum fans think this is Ben and Callum done for good. And it's like, my sweet summer child. Like, they're getting back together eventually. Of course they are. Like, there's no world where they don't put them back together in any way at all. It's just a matter of time.
is
But
it
yeah,
is it controversial to say I would rather the Manosphere people over the stand? Because I would.
I no.
Um,
That is quite controversial. I would not. I don't want. At least the stands keep to themselves.
Look,
You know what I
look.
mean?
I mean, just them spouting like the absolute nonsense. I don't mean the bit where they actually do horrendous shit. You know, I just, fucking Tony's
You
back.
you 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 you're playing with fire.
I don't. Oh, fucking Tony's back speaking bollocks about women and how he treats them. God, great. Oh, if you ever stand here, oh, fucking woo. It's like taking a bullet in the foot or taking a bullet in the arm. Which one would you prefer?
Or getting stabbed in the arm rather than the heart. Uh, but yeah, but that's the most annoying bit though. Like but then it's just my personal preference. Like, yeah, sure, I'll talk about Steve McFadden occasionally about what he does, but I'm not like constantly on first name basis. If I'm ever referring to the actors, I'm usually saying their full name because we aren't tight like that. I don't know them as a person. I don't have this parasocial relationship built up. So therefore, I do not refer to Ben Mitchell as Max. We love Max. He's so good. It's like, oh, please stop. And even with the Suki Bannister's actress Balvinda Sopal being on Strictly, it's so weird hearing her called like Bal. It's so bizarre. It's so weird. It feels wrong. But yeah, just the stands are back, and it means we've all got to listen to him if we actually want to engage in public discourse about the show we love. But so far, it's been pretty measured. But I've just you see some mental stuff. You see some mental stuff if you're on Stan Twitter. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Is it the time to talk about the Manosphere?
Well, no, because we still have to talk about the really interesting conversation where Phil and Kathy go to visit Ben in prison.
Okay.
And they go to visit in prison, and then you actually get Phil and Ben to sit down and have a serious conversation, where Ben acknowledges that Callum was all that was getting him through it all the time. This is all he's really wanted. It's what he's been working for. And he knew, yeah, sure. And that's why I made the point earlier of him saying that Mitchells don't grasp, but if I can get out quicker, that's all that matters. And then Phil kind of talks to him about it. And then you have Phil talking to Ben, which years ago Phil would never have said this, where Phil essentially opens up and is like, hey, look, all right, you have to have the things to look forward to. You have to have the things to live for. I've had a pretty rough year myself. And then Phil actually talks about how he nearly took his own life. And you have this thing because it's Ben, and like Ben's not seen the side of Phil, and no one's really seen the side of Phil till it all came out. So you have him be like, "Look, I've been there. I know. Just work on being the best dad for Lexi. You know, you have to look forward to these things. You can't keep dwelling on the past." And it's a really lovely conversation. It's a really nice moment between the two because you have Ben kind of realize, oh fuck, that, like I did leave a lot behind by doing this. But it does give Ben the kind of thing to go, yeah, I do need to look forward. I do need to move forward through it. And it's really nice. It's a really cool thing. And it's a thing of the Ben and Phil relationship is always going to be something of a tortured one because Ben always wants to be good enough for Phil to accept him, and Phil always essentially wants to be good enough so Ben accepts him. And it works in a slightly different way because Ben will over Ben Ben will over Ben will always overcompensate. There we go. Fuck me, first time. Ben will always overcompensate to try and get Phil to notice him. But Phil will always kind of he'll always undeliver and not actually kind of make the effort so Ben recognizes it. So even in this scene, I'm like, go on, Phil, tell him you love him. Tell him you love him. Go on, have this really nice tender moment. Doesn't happen, but it kind of leaves Ben with a sense of it's still sad, and he just kind of crawls up in his cell like, ah, shit, this is how it is now. But it's a nice kind of moving forward place now that he is back in the UK, and he's probably got a lesson sentence, which is how they're going to explain whenever he does come back. And I suppose that leads to the final question of this topic. Do you want this Ben Mitchell back, and do you think he will be coming back full time?
Oh, Jesus Christ! You're really, really making me answer this. No, I don't want this Ben back. I don't. If we're doing the thing where we recast every Ben Mitchell, just recast him again, please. I don't care if Max Bowden is the definitive Ben. I don't want this Ben back. I don't want this Ben. I don't like this Ben. Please get this Ben away from me. I will not eat my dinner if this Ben is here. Please leave me alone. I do not
What
like
are you
this Ben.
lying for?
What do you mean? What am I lying for?
Mate, there's nothing that comes in front of you in a dinner.
The only thing that comes on, never mind. Not my.
I don't know why you did a Peter Griffin laugh then. Meh.
Hey
Nothing comes to you
Lois.
when you go, meh.
Hey Lois. Um, I just don't want this Ben back. Really, I don't
Yeah,
care what
fair.
people say. I just don't want him back. I don't look forward to him. I don't. I don't get excited when I see him. That sounds wrong, but like I just he comes in. I'm like, oh whoa, it's this Ben.
Well,
Wow.
he has a lot of baggage, right? He has a lot of baggage. There's a lot of wrongs they haven't corrected, and if it is going to be the same Ben as it was a couple of years ago, I can understand the reservations. Although I will say this on the contrary, I'm in. I'm in. This Ben will inevitably come back in a couple years. Not a couple years, but this Ben will be back next year. Let's be honest. He's going to come back regardless. They had it as like a tertiary, like, oh, maybe it'll be permanent. He's getting contacted next year. He'll be coming back in like March or something. Um, I liked it. I like this Ben. I like the idea, and it's the way that they've made it better for me that seals it. The way they've made it better is they've actually made Callum a character again. And if you actually have it as this Callum and this Ben, I'm way more interested to see how it would go if they keep it that way. But the issue is if they fall into old habits and make it the Ben show with Callum being his fucking caretaker. At that point, I don't want it because that's what happened last time. It got really dark and really depressing really, really quick. And by the end, it was just absolute misery. So kind of, I am reserved. I am reluctantly excited at the inevitable Ben Mitchell return, but they still have the things to correct. Yeah, sure. When I was saying I think they need to kind of change the character if they want him back long term, I still think that's true because I don't want to see this version of Ben back on the screens not changing, not wanting to get better. But when they inevitably put Ben and Callum back together, which they will, this isn't the end, boys. They do need to make Callum a much bigger part in his relationship, and they need to actually balance it out so both are well written, well rounded characters. So, and if they don't do that, I will want Ben Mitchell gone again. But in the way he returned for the little 2 day span, I thought it was very good. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. And as I said before, I'm kind of wary but still excited nonetheless.
And I guess, oh god, I'm preparing for the end.
All right, mole man.
Um,
I prepare for the end. Don't know what that is.
I don't know why that's Trump. If we can mention his name. But preparing for the end here. Trigger warning. I guess. Well, a heavy trigger warning. The Manosphere is going to be talked about now. Um,
And since we are super deep, just to make it more, a little bit more, this will obviously contain a, a physical assault. It'll contain talking about quite graphic. Well, I highly doubt we're gonna be talking about it much, but it includes discussions of like kind of more adult, more explicit pornography. Don't demonetize us, YouTube. But there's a lot of very dark topics in this about stuff that's played at the school, and then later on an assault that takes place, physical, and not anything deeper than that. Fingers crossed. So yeah, so let's just stress the warning fully. It's an important thing to note. If this would upset you, or if it all gets too much, you can easily click off. That's perfectly fine. We thank you for being here, but now we are going to talk about it, and we're not exactly going to sugarcoat it or dance around the edges. It's been a very it's a very strict topic. It's been something we've been building to, so we have to do its justice, essentially. We have to tell the story of how it is.
And if we do make light-hearted jokes, just know we kind of joke through the trauma because this is horrific. So kind of if we're not, I don't want to say we're going to be laughing, but if we're making light-hearted jokes, just know we're not like, this is a very serious thing. We are not like making fun of.
Mostly just to like
Yeah,
alleviate the stress, alleviate the
yeah,
pressure.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly what you said. Because obviously this is dark topic. They've been building to this. It's still going to continue as this is the escalating point. Ross is inevitably going to fuck Joel up, but to begin, right? Amy is running away from school as Joel confronted her after school. I don't know whether he hit her or he just confronted her. I think he shoved her. I
I
think
believe he shoved her.
shoved her, just shoved her.
Yeah. I mean, it
And
doesn't really matter. It's still an assault, regardless.
yeah, yeah, it is.
All right, Billy Mitchell.
Um, but
But
like,
essentially, and also the build up of the week, it's kind of like it's Joel's behavior worsening. He still talks to Vicky horrendously, and he's kind of still complaining. At the end of Wednesday's episode, Amy calls him an incel, and you can tell he's pretty seething and pretty cut up. And this seemingly sets the scene for Thursday's episode, which Thursday's episode they do it in a slightly different way. They do kind of change the framing of it. It's not a traditional EastEnders episode. So we kind of get all of the accounts right. We get all of the things where, yeah, as you're about to say, there's an incident at school which we kind of get. The episode starts up with Amy and Ricky running home, which is a really interesting way to start it.
and yeah, I will say, it's been alluded to, and I'm just going to put it out there. It's been alluded to that Joel flashed up some pornography in class. Now, the way people react to this is obviously Billy just thinks it's the I don't know how to lightheartedly say. He thinks it's the old classic Dick and the Pumpkin, oh, what you doing, step bro? When
Billy thinks it's fairly kind of loose, nothing too
yeah,
heavy,
yeah,
nothing too graphic, but obviously it's what Joel would watch, and what Joel would watch isn't necessarily what you do in Step Bro. It's probably a bit more extreme. It's probably a bit more graphic. It's probably very degrading, and
um
it probably veers into, you know, is it real? Is it not?
I've alluded to that the porn that he probably flashed up is consent, non-consent. Um, and I'm not going into that. But if you want a fake thing, it's basically where you are consenting, but it is very vicious um intercourse. I can't really say it in a way that YouTube would monetize it, but it's basically the
It
act.
is. It's implied. It
Yeah.
is implied, and it's going too far. It's yeah. It's
Um,
all the implications are the closest we really want to get towards it. But essentially saying what Joel would probably flash up is very degrading, very
humiliating.
because it's very humiliating. His attitudes towards women probably reflected, probably very degrading, probably very intense. And what Amy says why she was very upset with it is he puts this on the screen. He essentially he patronizes the teacher in there and just essentially just tells her to shush, essentially, which is him trying to put the teacher, I guess, in her place is how he would view it. And then whilst he's flashing up this very graphic, extreme stuff, he's basically just looking at Amy and almost in a very, very gross way. And Amy thinks, he's thinking of me whilst like watching this. He's kind of like enjoying the experience, which absolutely horrific thing
That
to do
is
to anyone.
that is incredibly fucked up beyond belief. That is, I'm lost for words. I cannot say anything on that because that is incredibly fucked up. But what I will say is, I I need to word this correctly, but I like the fact that Drake Sagan has a fucking catchphrase where it's like, "Okay, mate, you're intimidated by doing this, are you? Oh, cool." Um, but yeah, continuing on with the episode, I'll get to that afterwards. You kind of see all the perspectives because you have Billy Mitchell being like, only bit of blue for the dads. You know what I mean, lads. It's like Billy. I know you're from a different generation, but Billy,
And that's where it gets interesting because you bring in all of the parents, right? You bring in all the parents, and they're all from different backgrounds and different values, right? You have Billy and Alf. You have Billy, who's like, well, it's a thing where the kids are obviously all shocked because they know this is fucked up and this isn't something that should be seen. They're all aware that, yeah, sure, and if you're on the internet for any extended period of time, you do see some fucked up shit that you probably don't never want to see, and some of it might sit with you forever. Some of it you'll probably never forget. So you're just kind of aware that with how the internet is the way it is, you do see some stuff you won't be able to unsee that, ideally in a perfect world, you don't ever see that kind of thing. And so yeah, Billy, who's kind of like, well, you can't see anything these days. What? It's just a bit of fun between adults. What's the harm in that? And then they're like, no, 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 but this is specific. It's like when they mention how Joel essentially shushed the teacher in a very like disrespectful way, saying this is misogyny in its own right. Like this is this is Joel trying to assert what he believes his authority over a grown woman. And then Billy's like, "What? It didn't do anything." Priya's like, "Oh, maybe you guys are just a bit woke and have only sat there like, really, guys, come on! I'm telling you what this is, and they're not really believing it." Um, and yeah, you get the different perspective. Jack is outraged, and Kat and Alfie want to protect Tommy, but they don't really know how to feel, and they don't really know what Tommy's done. And yeah, it kind of you get all the different perspectives of this sort of thing where the parents essentially they talk and Julie has a line essentially saying they talk about their kids rather than to their kids. So they're
yeah,
talking saying they wouldn't do that, they wouldn't laugh at that, they wouldn't watch that, oh, they wouldn't do this. Oh well, my kid wouldn't do that, your kid would though. And they are just kind of battling over something they don't really know what happened because not everybody knows what was shown. Julie doesn't technically know what was shown at the assembly. She wasn't there. She just knows the aftermath of it. So it's just all the parents kind of like clumsily dancing around trying to say, my kid isn't like that. It's your kid who's the problem.
uh, and again, I don't want to like include modern like what's happening in the political sphere, but you also do get the aspect of Julie being like, "Look, lads, I can't control what your kids watch because I only can teach your kids. I can't control what they watch outside of school because guess what? I'm a teacher, not a fucking parent. Calm down." Because again, they're all going, "Well, my kid wouldn't watch this," and they're all saying this, and Julie is rightfully being like, "Look, lads, it's your responsibility, not the teachers," which I agree with. It's just I don't want to derail this, but I do want to say I don't like the mentality where parents are like, bloody my Timmy came across a Jacksepticeye video that was very offensive. Yeah, well, whose responsibility is it to like protect Timmy from seeing that video? Your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. It's not Ash's
Yeah,
responsibility.
like there's only so much you can really you
Like
get the issue with the internet, right?
the
And
internet
in
is
its
a
current form, there's so much out there that is readily available to find, and anyone can stumble on it. And it's why, in a sense, you will have people go, I don't want my kid to have a phone because I don't know what they can watch. And yeah, sure, you can install like you can put monitoring software on there, or you can have parental controls. But there's also stuff that goes beyond the parental controls that you could find on YouTube Kids, essentially, that isn't actually kid friendly. So it's the kind of and in that situation, I think all you can really do as a parent is just instill values of what's right and wrong and what you should and shouldn't watch. But you can't be there on their phone with them.
yeah.
It's a personal thing you do. So you just kind of have to, You just have to guide them against, like, what's good, what's bad, what you shouldn't watch, what you should watch. But, like, equally, if you get too involved, they're just gonna not show you. So you kind of, it's a hard balancing act, but at the end of the day, it's one that a lot of people, you do have to think about it, because as we will later see, Tommy is saying the same stuff that Joel is saying, because Tommy's been kind of, he wanted to impress his mate. He doesn't seem to have any of his own real opinions. He's still just spouting what Drake Sagan is saying. But at the same time, Tommy being exposed to this, he now believes the ideas that he's enveloped by watching Drake Sagan and listening to Joel. He now thinks those ideas are his ideas, so he's spouting them as if they're his ideas. And he does genuinely believe them. Like the whole, and we'll get to that point now, where Tommy will essentially argue that basically, I mean, it's I'll get into what it actually is afterwards, but essentially him saying, as a straight white man, you can't say anything anymore. It's all, well, if you, as a, essentially kind of it's demonizing women in a way by saying that they have the most privilege. Essentially, that's the, as a white man, you can't say anything, and it's all against you, and you're just saying the truth. You're not saying anything inflammatory. It's all the truth, and it's all this kind of, it's this basically saying we are being
Silence.
we are being we are being silenced. We are being handcuffed, essentially, and
It's
that's not right.
all right. How I will do my perspective to hopefully help people to kind of understand. It's basically these gobshites. You're like, I'm a straight white male, but you're a woman, so you're more privileged. And it's like, yeah, but what is happening to women? Abortion rights are being taken away. They can barely get birth control pills. They can barely get anything. And what can our straight white men do? They can vote. They can do all of this laws. But again, it's apparently the straight white man who's been silenced, not the trans community or the minorities or the gays or the any of that or the women. It's purely the straight white men, and it's like, no, you're not, because a straight white man can probably, let's be honest, do more than they arguably say they can't. Because again, I've never understood this mentality, and I will always say it. The gobshites who preach, you just can't say anything these days. Oh, what? You can't make a Muslim joke nowadays, Dave. Oh, I'm sorry we've got too far advanced where it's a bit political now to make a joke about that. I am sorry that your little feelings can't make that joke. But if you want to make that joke, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead. No one is stopping you. No one is policing you for these opinions. If you have these opinions, some gobshite is going to believe it. Some gobshite is going
It's
to
also
agree
the
with you.
whole angle of, yeah, you can say these things, but we've kind of reached a natural point where you can say these things, freedom of speech. You're
Yeah.
allowed to say these things, but people are also allowed to respond.
It, it, it's just,
People are allowed to get upset by your opinions, and if they are abhorrent, you probably, you shouldn't really be allowed to just spout them, because it can be harmful and can be dangerous.
it's just these people are like, yeah, yeah. I don't know why I can't say anything these days. I did just harass trans people for 20 minutes in my set, but I don't understand why everyone's so offended. It's like, oh, I don't know, Ricky Gervais. Maybe you slam trans people for 20 minutes and people have to look at you and go, don't know whether to laugh or cry at this one. What do I do? Yeah, well, you can't say anything you want these days. I'm allowed to be offended just as much as you're allowed to speak your nonsense. And you get this perspective where Tommy is again saying, well, I'm a straight white man. I can't say anything these days. I can't. It's all the women have to do this, women have to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, shut up. Shut up. Because it's this ideology that we believe. We believe that straight white males, and I know people are going to get sick of us saying straight white males, but let's be honest, it is straight white males who believe this shite, that they're being oppressed because we're leaning too much into the woke agenda. We're giving women too much right to
I mean,
speak.
it's the simple case that everybody needs to struggle,
Yeah,
and
but
like from that specific angle, because we're kind of leaning into more of a inclusive and more of a well, we're at least trying to. We made
trying to.
waves over the last like decade, like couple decades, where we are trying to lean into having more of a open society, more of a diverse, more of a welcoming society to people of different cultures. But because we are kind of moving towards a more diverse or more progressive kind of approach, therefore, a lot of the and it's become a thing that's kind of been talked about for like especially within the very public culture wars where you have feminists, people striving for women's rights and minorities' rights and trans, all of the kind of social issues that people are gunning for. You can understand that where I'd imagine a lot of it starts from
Okay.
is a lot of the people they could just be straight white men and they go, what, this is supposed to be my world, this is supposed to be the oyster, I'm supposed to have all the benefits and I'm supposed to get everything because of how I was born. And I guess you could understand, and that's why a lot of people may kind of tend towards more right-leaning politics. They go, yeah, but I am straight and I am white and I'm not getting all the opportunities that people all say we do. And therefore you start to get a little bit more upset, you get a little bit more angry, you feel that you're being overlooked. And from that point, you probably start to latch on to more vitriolic kind of rhetoric, and you start to go, I'm oppressed because, look at this. There is in university, there is a scholarship for minorities. Why don't I get that thing? And I'd imagine that's where it kind of starts, right? And especially with Joel, for an example. Not saying I like this is. I'm trying to paint the picture. This isn't me being like, yeah, fuck the gays. Like I'm trying to paint the picture. I'm trying to get into why people would go that kind of direction, and I think
Mhm.
that's pretty apt for Joel because you take Joel, right? Joel is a scared teenager whose mum left him. Essentially,
Yeah.
his mum left him, and his dad at most times treats him like a friend rather than a son.
Yeah.
So the boundaries haven't really been set. And that means probably, and because he works so much, Joel is kind of left to his own devices. And so he's angry that his mum left. So now he needs to prove that he's the man because he didn't need a mum. He's done just fine without her. So he didn't need a mum. And it's all bollocks. It's all bollocks. But because he's in that group where he feels like he's being targeted for speaking his truths, which are vitriolic, pretty disgusting attitudes towards women, and you know, it's a slippery slope. It all starts somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry to
So
hear
he's
crap.
having all these bad thoughts and these bad attitudes, and he feels he's oppressed because that's how you need to kind of feel. He is taking back what he believes is being a victim, and being a victim in the sense of Ross, where Ross got left by his mother and then is now with Vicky, who he doesn't view as like basically because she doesn't have kids, he views her as lesser. He views her as someone who's just gonna control him. So therefore, he wants to take control and he wants to take what he wants because that's what the alphas do. So yeah, it's a really it's a really interesting way they've done it. And first and foremost, I just want to say, obviously, the actor, I think his name is Max Murray, he's done a tremendous job of it.
Oh, he has. I've
Um,
never.
Like I
I'm.
recognize first and foremost, I recognize hating the character. Do that. Hate the character. Sure. Don't give the actor hates.
Yeah, don't.
Like he's done a fucking generational job
I
at doing this. You fully believe it 100% of the way. He's done a tremendous job.
I do want to say, and I know people might disagree with me. I've never. No, I'm talking about the character, not the person. I know he's probably legally an adult in real life. He would have to be, I'd assume, to work. I've never wanted to punch a teenager in my life till now. The only other time I've wanted to punch a child is Daniel from Life is Strange 2. That's the only other time. Um, fucking. But again, these because we're trying to paint the angle. Because again, if you agree with these things and you're on our channel, you're
Sure.
probably in the wrong audience. I will say. You're
You've definitely taken the wrong step into the ball pit.
you are the only white guy at the barbecue cookout. I will say, and you have entered the wrong club. You're the straight guy in a lesbian bar. I will say. But you're the only example that came to my mind is Homer in the lesbian bar. is literally the only example that came to my mind. Where it's like, you people are
Well, it's
going.
just like, yeah, it's just you suddenly look at you. Suddenly the lights go on at the end of the night. You realize you've got glitter and tassels on. You're like, what the fuck? Like,
They attacked me. They attacked me in the middle of the night. The gays, they put glitter on me. No.
and like it was all fine until you realized at the end of the night where you're like, that's disgusting. Did enjoy the night. Did dance the whole
I
night.
did
Oh.
I did give some guy a blowjob, but like, homie's a homie, you know what I mean? Um, but on this, yes. So the ideology that Joel spouts is that he has to be an alpha, and they've really hammed up using the word incel, which I kind of like. But I love how they just used it in the past couple of episodes to hammer home that he is an incel. They just had to hammer it home that he is one. But I do again like this. The research they have done, and if like the writers actually had to watch the real life people that inspired these characters, I feel so fucking sorry for them. I feel so fucking sorry for them. I honestly do. Just imagining some poor bastard just sat in an office. What are you doing, Jeff? I have to watch this gobshite spout nonsense for 2 hours to understand Drake's egg. And hold on. Oh, and by the end of the shift, he's just pouring whiskey out, just raw whiskey, just drinking. Oh, jeez. But yeah, he believes that he's an alpha and that his dad's a cook. That's what he tells Ross. He's a cook. And he's just sidelined the fact that his ex girlfriend has left him and left him with Joel, and he's upset about that. So he wants to take his anger out on something. Basically, in a child-friendly way, imagine Syndrome from The Incredibles when Mr. Incredible does not accept him. It's basically that in a kind of way.
Yeah, and it heats up real quick because Joel is having he's lambasting his dad for all the things that he believes he does wrong. He says something to the effect of he's got on like a low grade woman. I don't remember what the exact phrasing is, but essentially he's saying because in Joel's mind she doesn't have kids, doesn't have kids. She bosses him around. Therefore, if Joel is seeing these women as a prize, he obviously doesn't really view Vicky as a he doesn't really view Vicky as a woman. Really, he just sees her as a threat to him. And Joel and Ross have this big confrontation, and he gets really angry, essentially saying, "You're a loser. You're a cuck. Mum left you, and now you're stuck with her." And Ross punches the wall. And obviously, it's the kind of really fun. Well, I say really fun. It's the fun part about it because the second that there is a bigger, scarier man who is essentially saying, "Listen here, you little shit," Joel is a baby. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, God."
He turns into
He's
Haley
shitting it.
Slater.
But then, when left alone, uh, Vicky tells Ross to go, and Vicky then talks to him and essentially is trying to get through to him by saying, "Look," and she does it in the best way because it's like, "Look, Joel, you pathetic little shit. You're angry because mummy left you, and you're trying to overcompensate because you're insecure." And this ramps up. He's like, "No, no, no, I'm not. I'm not. Look, it's you. You people are wrong. You're all wrong." And so he punches a wall. And then essentially, I believe what pushed him over the edge is she essentially goes, "Joel, you're a pathetic little beta." And I don't remember what exactly sets him off, but then
She
he
said,
punches Vicky across the face.
she says, "I could beat the shit out of you," basically. Um, which ideally in an ideal world would upset an alpha male because a woman is stronger than me can't exist. Um, let's be honest, they do
But
think of that. Let's be clear here, they
but
do think
he
that.
then yeah,
Yeah,
he then
films it.
punches Vicky across the face, and gives her like I assume a couple of kicks in the ribs. Vicky's bleeding from a lip and is clearly knocked out. I mean, it seems like she's been kicked in the ribs a lot. Like she's taken a lot of the brunt. She's kind of wheezing. She's struggling to breathe. Joel then takes the time to kind of record her at her most vulnerable, at her most like weak. And obviously this is going to be Joel kind of like, yeah, I took back my power. But that, that mentality, I'm proving them wrong, that I'm powerful, and essentially says, he basically goes, you never talk to me like that again. And this is while Ross is gone. Once again, Joel has had this outburst when it is just him and Vicky, and this would not have happened if Ross was there.
I'm,
Um,
I mean, I don't like. Again, I'm not a parent. I do not know how you would treat your son in this scenario if this was your kid. But throttling him up against the wall does not prove anything in my eyes. Because
no,
you are kind of encourage. It's not. I know it's not really the same as
well, it's the
tight
same
dick
behavior
player.
in a
Yeah,
sense, right?
you are
It's the
condemning.
same behavior.
Yeah, like I know.
If you prove to Joel that the way that you prove your point is you get violent,
Yeah,
it's just gonna breed more violence.
yeah. Like I
And
know.
that's why Ross is kind of seen as the problem, because instead of actually sitting him down and like trying to well, he does try to get through to him in a way, but then he pulls back and he doesn't fully deliver.
Yeah,
So like at the end of the day, I think what parenting advice. What you would do for Joel is you do force him to face the consequences for his actions. You let him you let him get reported to the police in Australia, and maybe he does some prison time, maybe he rehabilitates. But you can understand from Ross's perspective, you don't want to isolate your son. You don't want him to go too far. But at the end of the day, as a parent, too far will always be very, very like too far will always be this distant future that you're never gonna get to, because he'll change and it'll get better. But like by Ross essentially enabling this behavior, it has gotten worse and it has progressed. But it's like, I mean, if we take you take the characterization of like Dot and Nick, right? Where Dot, even if he had, even if Nick had planted a hatchet in her shoulder, she would still kind of like, yeah, oh, what did you do that for, Nick? Oh, you're sorry, are you? Yes, Ma. Oh, yeah. Well, don't do that again. It's fine. So it's just kind of not many. I'd say this. Ross has never made the harsh decision. He's always made the easiest decision,
yeah.
which has enabled Joel.
The problem is, right, and I know I've been trying to make my joke, my soul joke. I know he's not like slapping his dick on tight dick player. I know he's not doing that to him. That's my joke I want to get across. I know he's not enabling like that. But by throttling up against the wall, going, don't do that, you're kind of going, violence is wrong, but if you want to assert your dominance, violence is right. And it's like, no. If I burn down the kitchen and my dad gets out to me and he retaliates by burning down the sitting room, so it doesn't really make it wrong or right, does it? You know what I mean?
No.
It's kind
Yeah.
of a bit silly. It's like you don't do it like that. Like how you do this, and it is wrong. And again, I made the reference earlier, kind of, and I know that's an extreme circumstance, what I referenced earlier, but kind of like the mom of the famous shooting, where she did do a TED talk and wrote a book, well, not defending her son, but kind of condemning him, basically going, he was, what's the word I'm trying to say here, where he was basically kind of coerced into doing it and not really acknowledging the fact that he did do it. It's the same in this kind of scenario. It's not, I know it's not, I want to make that clear, it's not, but it's the kind of same principle where you would want to believe that your son could never do this, he would never do
Well,
it.
you rationalize the behavior, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
rationalize. You try
um,
to you try to if they go too far, you try and find reasons as to why it would have happened. And usually the outcome is never just my son was just a terrible human being and they did fucked up things.
yeah,
Because you wanna feel like that. I mean, we even take the example. But you still had adolescence, right? Where adolescence was a big thing, kind of depicting the same sort of scenario where a kid had viciously stabbed a person who rejected him and called him an incel. And then he kind of he kind of shows his true colors, that he doesn't really respect women, and he thought he was trying to comfort her because essentially she was an easy lay essentially, and he was lying about all the stuff he did. But you show that the kid like has it in him and he's just lying. But then the final kind of chapter of adolescence is the parents going, did we do this? Is it our fault? Was my violence, did it show him that violence was okay? And it's the kind of there's the moral quandary which will keep a lot of parents up at night, because you just go like, have I failed them? Is it my fault? And it's a very hard kind of it's a hard answer to get a genuine conclusion from, because it's all wrapped up in what you and how you feel about it at the time. And parents will, there are some parents who will remain steadfast and make sure the kids learn the consequences for his actions and pay for what they do. But there are also some parents who will enable them, thinking it's the right thing to do, but it may end up being the wrong thing. But there is no guide essentially. It's not like, yes, like Ross could have done things better, and he definitely should have done a lot of things better in this scenario. Um, but at the end of the day, Joel is who he is, and he has his own actions, and this is how he chooses to kind of exert himself. So yeah, it's it's a heavy topic, this one.
It's very hard to talk about this because no matter, even to take real life example, no matter what side you are on, you're either wrong or right. We, as two idiots from Britain and Ireland, we cannot tell you what the right and wrong side is. Well, we obviously can here. I should clarify, we can. But again, we're not going to opinionate you. If you want to believe these things Joel is spouting, go right ahead. But tune off our channel, please. Do dislike the video as well. That gives us great algorithm. Thank you. And leave a nasty comment saying I'm a fat gobshite. I appreciate that. And I have a shit beard. I appreciate that as well. That would be nice. But the thing is, this and the way the world is turning, I'm politically this, but the way the world is turning, it's sadly these ideologies are becoming more prevalent in media as well, in real life, because again, in the US, I don't want to get into it, but in the US, obviously, they're trying to bring back Christian ideology. They're trying to bring it back into the classroom and all of that.
To put, I suppose, to put a fine bow on it, we're in a stage where you don't really get the partisan kind of. You don't really get the. I have an idea, but I'm not that certain.
Yeah,
But I'm just not going to talk about it. You are kind of. A lot of people are kind of made you to get the attention that a lot of people will crave and want. You do have to have the most polarizing of extremes in order to actually kind of swim with the other big fishes who are also saying that sort of stuff. So like we're kind of everything's getting inherently more extreme. Everything's getting a whole lot more
scary.
like harder to consume. So it's a very and a lot of like and that's why the whole point with Joel is like, I'm not a kid, but you are a kid because you're spouting someone else's opinions. You're thinking you're being a true like genuine man, but your whole ideology is based off of something that someone who's taking your money is telling you.
Yeah.
It's
It,
like paying it's like paying for a fucking seance to talk to your dead nan. Like they're just gonna enable you to keep talking to them because they're getting money for it.
and we also see this ideology with Tommy. I don't know whether Tommy believes this or not. I don't think he does. He's just spouting it because
He
he's
doesn't
friend.
believe as much as
Yeah,
Joel, but
no.
he still believes enough for it to be alarming.
Yeah, and he does basically tell Alfie, "Well, you talk about your feelings. You're not really a man," and it's a shame that in modern society people are like, "Yeah, you don't really have to talk about your feelings." You're like, yeah, but again, if I can use my granddads for an example, they didn't really talk about their feelings, and they kind of went out tragically, and it's a
I mean,
reality.
it's once again it's the stat, right? I've done charity work. I did charity work for I did charity work for I think it's like Mind, where it's just about trying to get people talking because, as I said before, I don't know the exact stat, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the highest causes of like men over the age of 40 is suicide, because they don't talk about the feelings, they don't express themselves, they don't let other people in, and therefore if you're kind of in turmoil in your head, it does kind of add up, and at some point you go, is it worth it? And then boom, like, it's yeah.
It's because again, and to like kind of just digest this a little bit, you kind of do have to talk about your feelings because if you're like me, which I just to kind of bring our perspective into this, if you're like me, usually Ash would tell me, "Look, Piggy, I'm feeling a bit burnt out. Can we take a break?" Usually I go yes, but then you have me where Ash be like, "You all right, Piggy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you all right? Yeah, are you actually all right? No, okay." Because I'm not the type of person. But I do open up about my feelings. I do cry a lot, but like I don't publicly say if I'm burnt out or I'm struggling unless I really am at the point where I'm frustrated. Then I do, which is the wrong way to go about it. I know. It's like the example I can give whenever I go to my mental health meetings, which is once every 3 months. They must love me because obviously they go in. I go in with my dad, and they're like, "You okay, Piggy?" And I go, "Yeah." "Doing much?" "Nah." "You sleeping all right?" "Yeah." "You want your medication?" "Yeah." "See you in 3 months." Because I don't go in there and physically talk to them. Like in compared to say if Ash been in there, he could detail like what he's been going through. Like if that makes sense to the
Yeah.
nurse. I'm kind of
I
more
mean,
of a
it's not to say we're entirely different. Like, I
no.
feel like we're both people who will let it build up to
Yeah,
such an
yeah, yeah.
extent, and at some point there will be a breaking point where you can't really hide it anymore.
Yep. No.
Um, but it's just, yeah, but it's expressing themselves in a different way. But yeah, obviously, to wrap this, and we can probably go into the slightly briefer after show, because we are unfortunately on a clock today. Um, and it's kind of Joel's behavior has escalated like we were saying it would, and now we're kind of dealing with the aftermath. It's going to be intriguing to see where Joel goes from here as a character. I don't think they'll be able to redeem him in any way after this.
No.
Um, and it'll be kind of interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how everybody reacts to it, right? Because all the parents will look at them going, "Why the fuck were you just saying, oh, it was just a silly video," and then now suddenly Vicky's being attacked. Suddenly it all actually comes crashing. And I think that's gonna be an interesting way that it's gonna kind of flesh out, and it's done really well. Alice Haig, who plays Vicky Fowler, fantastic. Max Murray, who plays Joel, fantastic. The guy who plays Ross, I don't remember his name, also been tremendous. He has been the kind of annoying enabler, but somebody has to play that role in order for his behavior to continue. But he's also done a really good job at it. So full credit to all the actors and the direction, and to the EastEnders team for doing such a bold kind of display, such a bold topic to take, and even you sandwich it between the Ben return and then you have this. Been a really impactful week. So fair
Yeah.
play.
And to give my I'm gonna make this the fucking thought segment now. I should have done that while you were speaking, but well, um, I'll just 33, 20. My thoughts on the week, and then I'll do the awards. I I enjoy this. Sorry, but I think the Manosphere is in reality it's hot garbage. Like that ideology that to me, I don't care if you believe it. If you want to believe it, go right ahead. Just don't get me involved. I think spouting that shite is literal shite.
Oh,
Like,
it's harmful. It's
yeah,
dangerous.
it's harmful. It's dangerous. It's to very quickly, just to give an example, it's like how in Ireland, so say a woman gets attacked, um, immediately some far right grifter will be like, it was a Muslim, and then people will go out of their way to beat up that said Muslim, and it's like you don't you don't you just hurting innocent people. It's that kind of ideology. The one example I always bring up is 2 years ago on Black Friday or just before Black Friday, um a man not from Ireland. stabbed, I believe, two people, and Dublin reacted in the most insane way possible by rioting in the street, breaking into shops and stealing, and setting the Lewis, which is like a little tram that goes around Dublin, on fire. And I mean, that's not how you deal with stuff like that. And that's why I don't really like the Manosphere. That's sort of tying into it, sort of, I guess.
I mean,
Well,
it's inherently it's people who are going to it's people who probably don't even have that whatever it is, there will be a lot of people who chime in with their ideas just to kind of push what their agenda is necessarily. So
yeah,
you'll have people who will wade into topics that they don't actually know about, but they will essentially go, ah, it's like, I mean, adolescence, right? Adolescence, the show got a lot of critique because around the time there was there were the Stockport stabbings, where you had, there's a guy called Axel. I don't remember his second name, and even if I did it, I'd probably butcher it. But it was a guy who his dad was like he was a national. I'm not gonna I don't remember where he was from, but it was from a country. I think mm, I want to say Rwanda, but I could be making shit up. Essentially, point being, the fact that they cast a white actor in the role around the time that the Stockport stabbings, where the man was a person of color, who was like had been living in the UK. Obviously, people took adolescence saying, why are you casting a white kid for it when it was a person of color who did this?" And it's just kind of people looking to lobby their own ideas and to try and prove their point. And it's not really about discourse anymore. It's mostly just about trying to have the biggest voice. So yeah.
yeah.
As for the week of EastEnders,
As for the week of
pretty good.
EastEnders, I like the Manosphere as a storyline. Again, I don't agree with it personally, but watching it in a show, it's kind of nice to see these gobshites. Thankfully, they use a fictional person and not a real life person
Yeah.
for as the Mr. Taint stand, because he is the most prolific one. Thankfully they used a fake in universe person. But I like the concept of like that storyline. I will say I am excited to see where it goes. I don't know how you go beyond this. Obviously, you have Ross find out and then
He has to
condemn.
pay for the
Yeah.
consequences.
I feel like Vicky is going to lie for the next couple of months because she's going to feel intimidated by Joel, in my opinion.
I
Um.
mean, it's definitely well knocked her confidence completely.
Yeah.
Like,
Ah.
as getting attacked and have it be viciously as vulnerable as she was.
And to continue on, I liked Ben Mitchell. I didn't really like his return, but I kind of enjoyed the dynamic with Stewart. Still not a Ballum fan. Still not. I'm sad. I was going to say I'm sad. I'm happy that Ballum is over for now. Let's get Jallum going, please. Let's get Jallum going. And I'm excited to see Stewart back, even if it was only for 2 to 3 episodes. And I enjoy Phil opening up to Ben and kind of being like, yeah, I had a bit of a mentee bee myself. Ben had a bit of a mentee bee, but I'm all right. I also like, as mentioned earlier, I like how they're kind of like, yeah, Jay,
He's around.
he's around.
Just not here, but he's around.
It's like when you're a kid and like your pet goldfish is suddenly gone. It's like, where's my goldfish gone? He's around. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's here. Um, but yeah. The awards. Unless you have something to say, or
No, it was a good week. There was a lot of content. It's not very often in EastEnders where you have a week where genuinely so much shit has happened that all of it relatively most of it needs to be talked about in a very serious way. So yeah, it was a very compact week. There was a lot of stuff happened, and like there were multiple different things. There would have been multiple different things this week that people would have kind of been taken by in the most. So fair play.
now the awards. If you want to do the awards, or
Yeah,
uh,
it's the awards.
so obviously we have the Chris Crenshaw Award for the most promising. We have the underrated award, the Who Needs Slapping Down award, and the Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence. I believe that's all the
I mean,
awards.
obviously, who needs slapping down goes to Joel.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, Underrated.
oh, I Stewart. Stewart, because I haven't,
Yes.
I have never given him the award because he was never on the show when we did this.
Yeah. We
Uh,
won't get to see him again for a while, but hopefully at some point in the future they do bring him back for good.
Most wouldn't, obviously Callum's dad, 'cause he's in the coffin. Pretty obvious.
Yeah, the coffin, easy.
Yeah, and the Chris Klein Show Award of Excellence. I don't know why I keep adding an Award of Excellence. I just
Most promising.
most promising. The
Um,
Manosphere storyline. Um, and
yeah, I'm
and
I'm gonna alternatively just say I'm just gonna say the groundwork for the Ben return, as long as it keeps with the trajectory of Callum being a character.
and I will say I do also for most who needs slapping down. Billy's mentality as well. Just being like, it's only a
Yes.
bit of blue for the dads, a bit of blue, lads, and it's like, Billy, it's not fucking some fucking rodeo from the '60s, Billy. Calm down. But
As for final bit for me to say, I will say this episode's probably one of the most memorable episodes Ben Wadey's done. So
yeah. And now it's the. Well, do you want to do Strictly Speaking?
I don't really have too much about it. Once again, do love Strictly. It was a really fun time. I still like Lewis the best. He has dreamy eyes and is a really good dancer. Ellie Goldstein, the actress and model who also has Down syndrome, is also an absolute bundle of fucking energy, and you can't help but smile whenever she does. And she is very talented as well. Like she's a good dancer. Um, and Balvinda Sopal is also really good, and she probably had the best dance of the evening. So yeah,
You forgot someone. You forgot someone.
who did I forget?
You forgot the blonde haired lad.
Blonde-haired lad.
The guy
Oh,
who
and Thomas Skinner's gone. Thank fuck.
is he gone? No, he.
Yeah, he got eliminated. He was terrible.
Oh, he was terrible. Was he as bad as Les Dennis?
You they're probably the same level, honestly.
Yep. And now, very quickly, he's appeared. He's oh fuck. Oh fuck! I fucked it up. Hold on. Ah fuck it! I'll figure it out in post. And now to very quickly say it, Big Brother.
Oh boy. So George, who we call Lord Farquaad, has been booted out of the Big Brother house for something that will never be broadcast. So I don't. And considering in one of the previous episodes there were some fairly transphobic comments being said, not by him, I don't even want to know what was said because it must have been some horrendous shit.
On that very quickly. Yeah, he's gone. Thankfully. From what Ash told me, he apparently said anti-Semitic comments, which in the current climate, understandable. I would not.
The one weird bit about it though is the fact that the transphobic comments were very happily broadcast and very kind of on all the teasers, but whatever George said will not be. So
Probably
kind
says
of shows the state of play, really. I
something
think what
about.
also does help is the Zila, the trans man, fuck has handled every single bit of like resistance so unbelievably well. Like there's so little material that the transphobes will have because they have responded to everything I suppose like a man would, and they've fully taken it on board. So
Well, he is a
it's
man.
it's been exactly so like he has fucking nailed it completely, and he's definitely a shoe in to win.
I I I know he's a trans man. I have found a weird. I know you have to go in a minute, but I found a weird fact out about trans men. You know when they get the penis,
Oh,
the
Jesus.
the what?
Yeah, right.
Do you know when they get the penis? Do you know if they want an erection? Because obviously it's not a real penis. But you know when they want the erection, do you know what they have to do? They have to
Mm.
pump. They have to pump up the testicles they have. They have to use the testicles to pump it up, which is which is
But
fucking.
does it not just
So,
all right?
so
Yeah.
basically, there's a button in one of the testicles, right, to help make it erect. So you have to
Oh,
like push the button, and it'll, give it a
oh,
stiffy.
fair enough.
Yeah. I'm also jealous because they can pick the length they want the penis. If they want a 20-incher, they can have a 20-incher.
Mm.
Fucking jealous. I can't do that. Fucking trans man.
kind of ironically as such I mean, for most people who are anti-trans, for some reason, it's always about the genitals, which
Yeah,
is the least important part
it is.
of it in like. So
But I do
that's
want to
all I'll
say
say on
that.
that.
I did want to say that though. Yeah, where they do have where they have like a fucking inflatable thing in their makeshift testicles. But yeah, and now it is time for the after show. Ash has to go after this, and yeah, so
Yeah.
very quick. Sorry for delaying it. Very quickly, give us the Christmas plans, please.
Oh yeah, Chris. Yeah, all right. That's a nice after show. All right. So Christmas plans. We've kind of talked about it loosely, but we've not actually talked about it. Um, Obviously, at some point, like about a month ago, we were not a month ago, but yeah, no, yeah, about a
July,
month ago,
August.
we were going to do our July, August. We were going to do the visit in person because that's what we typically did. But Piggy kind of came to me at some point and said, "Eh, I'm gonna respect that you'd probably just prefer to do it all like online because I am weird and not very good at people." And Piggy's also got other friends to do that stuff with, which
Yeah.
is, that sounds like a flex. It is a flex. Look at you go. Multimedia Maniacs video got released the other day. Um, so that aside, the Christmas schedule's probably not going to be the exact same as it has been the past 2 years. We did the music video first year. We did Monopoly. I don't even know what other stuff we did.
We did
But the things that
reactions
will be happening, we will have the 4 reactions. Do we remember which ones? Which 2002,
6,
2006,
7, and 24.
7, and 24. As so it'll be our like live reactions. Piggy's like gracefully editing these. So I mean they're all the ones that are currently done. I enjoyed it. It's pretty good. So
Oh, 6 is done.
um
Oh, 2 was done, but it has to be redone. So yeah. Um,
yes. And obviously there will be the massive video essay at the end of the month on Christmas Eve, probably, maybe the 23rd, I don't know, depending on the days. There'll obviously be the ranking 2002 to 2012 in terms of ranking all of the Christmases from 2002 2012 in in the format that the video essays have been coming out in. Obviously, like the iceberg, like the evil EastEnders, it'll be edited like that, it'll be narrated like that. It'll be better than the last one because this one actually we've understood the process a lot more. And we've actually gotten used to it. So those are the current plans. We're still kind of farting around with other ideas. We'll talk about it when we have more time. But we're farting around with other cool ideas to make Christmas more special. But usually it's just the Walford on taps after every episode in December. That will likely resume. We'll likely have weekly reactions as well, which both me and Piggy will work on editing down and putting it out. Because ultimately you don't really get the Reddit threads at Christmas because it's mostly like, what do you think's going to happen in Christmas episode? We can't do that video 7 times. You know what I mean?
and
So
um,
that will likely be the Christmas kind of schedule and plans. We've gotten we need to watch we only need to watch one more Christmas and then we're all done and then I'm gonna work on like editing the video and scripting it and getting it all finished way earlier than Christmas just because we want Christmas to be inherently more chill.
yeah, just to peel back the curtain, I am gonna put my sunglasses back on. I think they're cool. Um, to peel back the curtain, to peel back the foreskin, some would say. Um,
Jesus.
we have done every Christmas and we did 2012 last year, I believe, or the year before. So we just have to watch 2011 and 2024 before the tier list. Or not the tier list, the essay. All the Christmases are done except for 2011. I have to refinish writing 08 and 09 and 2010, and Ash has to write 04 because I genuinely cannot think of anything positive to write about 04. That sounds harsh, but it's literally a Den Watts Christmas. And you think with me loving Den Watts, I would have a lot to say, but mine's gone. Um, but yeah, there will be a tier list either with me and Ash or just me, depending on who does it. I might still get Ash involved so he can kind of just be the kind of backhand producer of it. And then yes, there will be that. We're debating buying Monopoly. I was debating because obviously you do game boards like at Christmas. I was debating doing
Yeah,
two. I was debating doing Game of Life or
nice.
Game of Life and Monopoly, or just one of them. But I really want to do Game of Life because I know what's going to happen. He's going to get a fucking brilliant life, and I'm going to be stuck as some college sweepers picking up dog shite. Um, but yeah, I'd love to do one of those two. Who knows? We might do like Garfield Kart or something, where obviously he gets a few beers in, I get some non-alcoholics in, and we drink and we play a game, basically. And it'll probably be more fun because Ash won't have. Please stop touching me. You're in my spatial area, Ash. I'm literally sat like this. You're in my spatial area. Please leave. It might be a bit more fun. Yeah, that's the Christmas plans, really. Um, I need to say, oh 06 is done. Oh 06 will be published in December. I don't know why I'm saying it now. I'm working on oh 07. I will have oh 07
Yep.
done probably by the end of the week. And then I have to go back, do oh 02, and then do 2024. I'll probably leave oh 02 to the last, and then that'll be it. Um, all Ash has to do for the reactions is basically compile the two episodes together, and then I
Yeah.
just edit them from there. So yeah, that's pretty much the method. And also in December, I will be taking a little holiday to England. So Ash might
Yeah.
be doing Walford on tap on his own, or he might not be. I might do it in a hotel room with him. So yeah, there you go. There's the plans.
And the final piece, I suppose, also the first of the video essays, as of this, should have been out on Friday.
Yeah,
Um, a fun topic. I really did enjoy writing the "How'd you get into EastEnders" video because you think it's an easy answer, and it's not. You think it's a really because it's hard to get into soaps. It really is. But if you can, it's like a really rewarding experience where you have endless content essentially, and not like in terms of our sense of content, just endless like stuff to enjoy. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed it. I think it's turned out quite well, and I know I've always say I'm gonna write videos, but I mean, hey, this year so far I've written what, like three? I've written four. So in comparison to last year, which was one, um, we're kind of, and obviously the next script has been written, and it's getting there. So hopefully this becomes a regular thing, and I actually edit weekly videos. Let's go.
yeah. But now,
A lot of
Ash.
fun plans though. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. So I think, praise us both in the comments for both doing some good work. So I think that should always be respected and rewarded. So thanks to all the viewers. We do appreciate you a lot. And it's been a long ride, but we're still here.
Yeah, and Ash is going to Beastie Boys now. Get a lovely burger.
Beastie Boys.
I don't, I don't know what the place is called.
Cause it's sabotage. Wow.
What is the place called? If you can shout it
I'm not.
out.
I'm not doxing it. It's a local. It's a local place.
Okay. But yeah, he's going there. He's getting a lovely burger, a beautiful burger. But
Probably
yeah,
just AFC really, but yeah.
probably KFC. I mean, KFC is a cuisine. Let's be honest. For us white folks, it's a cuisine. Um, we think it's like how council estate girls think Subway's like fucking from a nectar from the gods.
Bougie. Yeah.
Bougie, yeah, bougie. But yeah, that is the podcast. I know I'm currently dressed like fucking Mario from Mario Odyssey. I am wearing Mario glasses. Yeah. I thought they would look cool. I did, to end this, I did trick my dad into buying me another Santa costume. Um,
Hmm.
because we were at my mental health meeting,
Doesn't
and
about half the videos that we've recorded are in the old one, so
yeah, but I basically tricked him. I went, he basically pointed to a post that said World Mental Health Day on the 10th, and obviously tomorrow's the 10th, and I went, Dad, it's World Mental Health Day. He gave me a Santa costume, and he went, you fucker. So yeah, we will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Let's make some fucking noise.